Hey guys, FilthyRobot here, continuing our playthrough of EU4 with Arumba. And, Wallace the Girthy is in full retreat.
Yeah, Wallace the Girthy's having a hard time right now, isn't he? I'm a little concerned here.
Well, hopefully he can get a grip on it and continue on here. So we have a pop-up with Carnal Sins.
Okay.
The heir we can get is a 156.
156 is quite good. 12 monarch points on a scale of 0 to 18. It's really it's above average.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, a long time ago we talked about ruler stats, and I briefly mentioned that 9 is the average. And technically, that's actually not true. I had assumed at the time that it was a D7 that was rolled, a 0 through a 6, but it's actually it's 2d4 minus 2 is what they actually roll for your ruler stats. And all that does is it just changes the way that the average works out, because 2d4 minus 2 can still go up to a 6. And if the minimum is 1 minus 2, you get down to 0. So that, I don't know. It's still a 0 to 6 overall range, but technically it's 2 dice, and so that is why the actual average is different than 9.
So a 5 and a 6 are quite good.
Yeah.
The 1 is just quite weak. 1 is towards admin, which we have a million of, and really we only need admin a lot of it when we're conquering things, and it looks like we might not have that problem here.
It's a weak heir, right?
Yeah. And what is the heir? I mean, it's an heir, so it's got to. I mean, our guy's so young. Like, what is the point of having an heir right now?
Well, if we die, then we would have the regent in charge. Do we like our regent?
No, not really. She was like 5/1/1, right?
Yeah, she's a 7 monarch point character, so we don't really want her in charge. But we don't really want to die either, so it doesn't. I don't know. So I like the stats. Anything above a 9, I'm happy with.
I would don't understand. Like, isn't this guy's stats only going to apply when our current ruler dies? And didn't our current ruler just die? So we have a new current ruler who's super young, who's never going to die. So what is the point of this heir?
Well, you have to get an heir at some point, and the question to ask yourself is: do you think that on the next random roll to generate an heir, do you think you could do better than 156?
No, not particularly.
Well, then take the heir.
Okay.
Because that guy's gonna rule our name, our country next.
I get to name him?
Yeah, if you want. Although I just clicked it, so I don't know what's gonna happen. We both got that pop-up. Okay, so I had to cancel one of the mercs in Northumberland because the English are marching straight through it. He is looking rather foreboding. He's got more cavalry than we do by far. At this point, I think we need to go for some Hail Mary type stuff here and hope that things go well. We got 50 monarch points, 50 military monarch points. I think we need to roll a general. You never know. We could get like a 4-5 or some insane general that would turn the tide of the war just based on that, or we could get complete trash.
What are this is still the 2d4s minus 2 for each of those?
I know that's completely different, but you didn't want to talk about it last time.
If we're deciding now if we need to re-roll and the chances we're going to get it better, what are the chances we're going to get better than we have 2-2, right?
Okay, yeah, I can break it down. I can tell you exactly what our chances are. So, F1, F2, look at the military tab. We have 22.3 army tradition. So here is the formula to calculate how many pips your general will get when you roll a dice, when you roll for a general.
Okay.
First things first, take a 50%, okay, no, we'll go in the right order. First things first, roll a d6, an actual d6. So anywhere from 1 to 6. Okay. Second,
not like their d14, 0 to 13, or whatever the fuck it was.
No, 0 is not an eligible thing. It's a 1 through a 6. So roll a d6.
Okay.
Then take your army tradition, divide it by 20, and then round down. So in this case, 22 divided by 20 rounded down would be 1. So you get 1 pip guaranteed from army tradition. Next, take 22.3 divided by 100, and then that is your chance to get an extra pip. So we have a 22.3% chance of an extra pip. Next, subtract 20 from 22.3, and then that's your chance for another extra pip. So a 2.3% chance of an extra pip. Finally, you have a 50% chance of getting an extra pip. Just always. So altogether, it's we could roll, best case scenario, a 6 plus the 1 guaranteed is 7, plus a 22.3% chance takes us up to 8, plus a 2.3% chance takes us to a 9. If we get the 50% chance at the end, we're at 10 pips. And then finally, because we're Scotland and our national idea gives us +1 shock pip, we're guaranteed a shock pip. And I've already lost count now, and it was, what, 11? I think 11. Like that. So best case scenario, we could roll an 11 pip general. With our current
9 pip general.
With our current army tradition. Now, we could take it And this is actually the one I'm leaning toward considering.
Right.
Hiring a general from the nobility would be slightly better because that is a 40. It's a 40 tradition general, which guarantees us 1 extra pip and gives us a better chance.
That isn't even the comparison because we don't care about total pips.
Yeah, we do.
This. What we actually we don't. What we care about here is pips in. I mean, for example,
pips in the right
siege
phases
give us nothing.
Yeah, pips in the right phase
Pips and maneuver aren't gonna make our fights better than they're already gonna be right now. The stats we actually have to improve are shock or fire, relative to what we have now. That's the only thing that's gonna help us.
Yes. Here's the best case scenario is if we rolled the 11 pip general, then we would want it to be a 5600.
Yes.
But that can't happen 99.99999 times out of 100 because the way that the formula assigns those pips is dependent upon what pips you already have. So as you go up in one side, it decreases the likelihood of the next pip getting assigned to that category. So if you had 11 pips, you're probably going to end up with like a 2-4-3-1 or something. You could theoretically get a 5-6-0-0, but it's probably not going to happen.
We're not going to improve this.
You're
not going to have very good odds of improving this.
No, we have to.
Why do we have to?
We have to. Do you want to lose this war?
No, but you just because you want it doesn't change the outcome of making it more likely. So if it's unlikely that we're going to change this, odds are, from the sounds of it to me, with the rough odds you're spitting out there, the odds are we are worse than what we are right now.
But it could be better.
So you've defined the optimal best, right? Like what is the? So I need a range. That number in of itself doesn't tell me anything. You've told me the chance that it will get basically you told me the chance that we'll get an 11 pip general, and from that, we have a yet to be determined chance then of actually increasing above these 2 pips. But most of the time, you're not going to roll that natural 6 to begin with. Most of the time, you're going to roll. I mean, what is that? 3.5, right? That's the average of a 6-sided die, right?
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So most of the time, you're going to get 3.5. Do those. So did you have a number that you multiplied the 6 by at the end of that when you applied all those modifiers? No,
it's not a multiplier. It's all additive.
All right. Well, what is that for 3 point? So what? Okay, it's all additive.
Let's not worry about
11.
Don't worry about the average.
It does matter. Hold on.
Let's just take. Okay. Well, don't make it too complicated. We'll just say that the minimum you could get is 3. The maximum you could get is 11 in our current circumstance. So just take the 2 and divide it by 2. So 3 plus 11 is 14. Divided by 2 is 7. We're probably going to get 7.
Okay. And those pips are going to be, on average, distributed across all 4 of these.
Not equally. Not equally. No.
Why not equally?
Just because I don't know. That's just how it works. Siege pips are the least likely. The first shock pip is the most likely, followed by the first maneuver pip, followed by the next fire pip. So it goes like the normal order is shock, then maneuver, then fire.
But it should be roughly then equal among the first 3. Just if the first one out of that is going to be for that order. Basically.
The chances of us rolling any general who has more than 2 shock is incredibly high because we have a guaranteed shock pip from our traditions. So we just need to get at least one of our rolled pips. Well, in this case, at least 2 of our rolled pips in shock to be better in the shock phase than Wallace is. And Wallace, he's a great general, but the 5 maneuver is not nearly as good. Like, if we had a 3-3, we would be using the 3-3, hands down, in every combat.
Okay.
I'm
hearing those numbers, and again, you have the actual numbers because you've done and you have the experience with this. So I will yield that decision to you in the sense of that it doesn't really sound like we're putting ourselves in a very high percentage circumstance to get a better general.
Well, okay. There's one other factor though that you need to remember, and that's that Wallace is going to die. So sometime in the next couple of years, we're going to roll another general anyway. So we might as well do it now.
Is a free roll. Well, we might as well do it then. We might as well wait till we get the free roll and then roll it again.
We do have a free roll if you're talking about a free roll from the nobility.
I meant a free roll from the general dying. He's going to roll another general, right?
No, hell no. You got to pay for every general. We got Wallace. We got Wallace from the nobility.
Oh, I see.
We didn't pay. Okay. Yeah, we didn't. No, every general you buy is 50 monarch points, or if you get them from the nobility, then you can do it once per 20 years. So my argument is that if
we can't give the nobility 20 more influence.
We can. It's not a question of whether we can or we can. Should we is the real question. If we do, the nobility will have 97% influence, which means that their disaster will tick up at a rate of 4% per month, which gives us 25 months till the disaster fires. In 25 months, we would have to revoke all of their land, but we could hire a general from the nobility. It is possible.
Yeah.
And I think we should do it.
Yeah. All right, I'll click the button. If you say,
the reason why I want to do it with the nobility is because I want that 40 army tradition threshold instead of the 20.
All right, I'm going to click it. I'm going to click grant generalship. You ready?
Just do it. Just do it and roll something good so that this whole argument was worthwhile.
All right, what do we see?
God damn it! You suck at rolling. How did you roll worse than Wallace?
I told you we're gonna get worse than Wallace because the odds are stacked against us for doing better than Wallace. So where is it?
I don't even want to tell you.
Where do you see it?
I don't want to tell you what it is.
Come on, tell me the fucking interface to find it.
It's the military tab. You know that. You know that by now.
No, I don't. All
right, we're throwing more Hail Marys.
Hold on. We got a 1131. Oh my God. Are you kidding? This is what we just had this whole discussion. You're like, we have to do it.
We do have to do it. We did have to do it.
He's fucking rubbish.
He is. He's way worse than Wallace.
I wouldn't allow this man to lead my dog around. Like, this man, we're not giving him our army.
Okay, first things first. We're 1 over the leader limit right now. And clearly a second general is more valuable than an admiral, so we need to fire the admiral. So we're not over the leader limit, so we don't waste military points. If you're over the leader limit, you lose 1 monarch point per month in that category.
Why don't we just fire Robert Lindsay over here?
No, because he's got a siege pip. He's horrible for combat, but this is our first general with an actual siege pip, which is really useful.
All right. So I've gone to the fleet. I'm gonna not disband unit. How do I unremove the leader from the fleet?
You click on Scott Knox.
Yep.
And then you just click on the no leader button.
Okay, done.
Now that he's not appointed, you should be able to fire him, that little boot button on the military screen.
Yeah.
I'm willing to throw every Hail Mary here, by the way. I'm willing to spend our only 50 monarch points on another general roll.
All right. Okay, where do we do that?
And before we do that, I'm willing to do that because we're 10 years ahead of time on military tech. We don't have anything earmarked for military. We're not taking a military idea group. We have literally nothing to spend our military points on. This is the optimum time to actually try for a better general.
Recruit a general down here. Do you want me to spend these 50 instead to recruit another admiral?
It doesn't
spend military damage.
Let's spend diplo points.
All right,
and then
we'll get the
do that anyway. And then our final Hail Mary is going to be to turn our actual ruler himself into a general and just pray that he's good.
All right, I'm recruiting a general right now. It'll cost
do
me
it.
50.
Just do it. How do you roll so bad?
0-2-2.
You got on a scale of 3 to 11. You got a 4.
No, because the numbers you gave me, I told you we were gonna get worse rolls.
Oh, that guy,
on average, we're getting worse rolls.
That guy just doesn't exist. He doesn't exist. All right, I don't care. I'm gonna do it. God damn it!
0-2-1-3. Told you, Arumba. All right. So what we learned from this
is that we have horrible luck, and that statistically we should have had the better shock general. Out of 3 rolls, we should have. Yes, we should have. If on average we were going to get a 7 pip general, with not counting the nobility estate, because that actually had a higher number. And also, I don't want to go into the math on it, but when you roll your ruler into a general, the formula is slightly different, but it doesn't matter. He had higher effective army tradition because he has 3 military skill. But whatever, doesn't matter. Long story short, with 3 rolls with a 7 on average, we should have had 7 pips, and all of them had less than 7. So we were horribly unlucky, is what happened.
We're about average.
No. Below average is not above. It's not average.
About average. 6 out of 7. It's not that far off.
Every roll being below average. If we were truly on average, we would have had 1 above average, 1 below average, and 1 right in the middle, or roughly around there. Yeah, we were below average, which is below average.
We had 3 very close to average rolls.
Well, the good news is we have a 3 siege general, which is really quite good. However, Wallace is going to have to carry us, and watch Wallace is going to die tomorrow.
So by the way, we need to. Oh, we don't want to fire Lindsay then because we're worried about Wallace dying in a moment.
Yeah.
And we probably prefer a 1-1-3-1 to a 0-2-1. Didn't we get a guaranteed one of these? Oh, it's guaranteed shock. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Robert Lindsay, the one you rolled, the 1 shock is from the guarantee. Yeah. Jeez. Anyway, we need to immediately revoke land from the nobility so that it doesn't actually tick up at 40% per month. They're going to be disloyal, which is going to be bad, but who cares? Because
we're about to lose England.
We have to.
All right,
so
you got that taken care of?
Yeah, I'm going to revoke. Let's see, this will take them down to 89.5. This takes them. Yeah, we're going to have to revoke Inverness. It's not the most optimum one, but it's going to take them down so they only take it 2% per month. And they're going to be pissed. They're going to be pissed. They're going to be losing loyalty. It's bad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Bad things have happened. I blame all of this on the French, by the way. The French are such unreliable bastards.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like both of our armies are going to be out before battle. That's good. We're going on the 27th. He's there on the 29th. We're behind the fort. We're safe to recover for a month or 2. We need to cancel the other merc because he is being sieged. We do want to immediately grab the army and just full-on straight-up consolidate. Not the cav, though, because we want the cav to reinforce as fast as possible. So I'm going to press the Z key while selecting the army to just detach the infantry. And then I'm going to just press consolidate on the infantry, then recombine the 2. Check combat width. We have 17 plus 2 is 19 regiments, plus 1 on his way.
I got a quick question for you, Arumba. So I think I'm looking at the fort overview right now. And I see them in Lothian. It's surrounded by, for me, gray with green lines. Yeah, those are the zone of control, right?
Okay, say again in Lothian.
So yeah, if I have so I being the fort menu here, I'm asking about zone of control again because I'm now. So he came in through Northumberland, right, into Lothian. Does that mean he can only back out through Northumberland again now?
Yes, from where he is right now, the only other location that he can go to is Northumberland.
Okay, thank you.
Because Cumbria is also within the zone of control. There's no competing zones of control, and he did enter through Northumbria. You've got it perfect.
Good.
Okay, I'm considering. No, we just gotta stick with regular troops. We're gonna train up.
So we will get the defender's advantage when we come in through Lothian, but unfortunately Lothian's not great defensively. I guess we will get the river advantage, right?
We would, yes. So we would have a slight advantage due to that, but let's get 29 troops. Combat width is 24. We don't even have the full combat width trained up right this second. I still don't want to pull that infantry off of the siege down in Pale. We could have him cross the strait because of the guaranteed access, but then he'll potentially train troops down there. But I wonder, is he actually going to be training any men down there? Come to think of it, he's at his force limit. He's not going to be training anybody right now. Yeah, we got to pull this guy over as well.
There's no way we can like call in like naval support or something, right? Like there's no way a naval battle will influence a land battle.
No. Yeah. Nope. Naval blockades affect it. Sieges, but not actual battles.
Okay.
Let's see. The question is, how many more mercs do we buy? At least one. We have to go back up to 24 for combat width.
We're gonna have to engage this 25 stack, aren't we?
Yeah, and we're gonna have to do it with more than just 24 troops. We're gonna have to go. We need reinforcements so that when the front row falls, the battle can continue. But he's actually, I mean, he's got a much larger, wider army than we do, but he's only got 25.5k there. And look at the siege progress. He's at negative 71%.
Yeah.
What is that? There's a blockade happening in the northwest. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, he has, if you hover over his siege chance, he only has a 36% chance of even advancing the siege.
Okay. That's good. So we got time, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, we have time to recover our troops up to full strength. We've got time. Oh, I would love to do that right now. Oh, please give us the opportunity to do that. He is sending that army to reinforce the area up there. If we engage that 2-stack. See that 2-stack?
Okay, yeah.
Marching towards Cumbria, the Papal State, and England. It says 2, but it's actually 1,000 plus 1,421 plus 558. So it's like 3,000 regiments.
Kill them. Okay.
We could pick that off really easily.
And he can't come near us because Lothian zone of controls him. So he'd have to move to Northumberland, then Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Or actually Northumberland into Cumbria. No, Cumbria is still protected, so it would be Northumberland, Yorkshire, and then Cumbria.
Why is there a ship there?
Cumbria right now.
What is this ship doing out here? Why is it here?
Which ship where? I don't know.
We have one ship. A light ship has decided to leave on its own.
No, don't let it leave. I did not tell it to leave.
It was built in Lancashire. That's what happened. So the ship that we built in Lancashire finished, and then because they sieged Lancashire, the port was occupied, and it forced the ship out to sea. That's why it's being engaged. Now, in this case, I don't see... Let's see. The English fleet is in one sea tile over. I would not risk trying to save that one ship. It's just dead to us.
Okay.
Oh, it sucks. This sucks. This sucks so bad. Okay, we're going to get our reinforcement. We're going to sack wipe this 2-stack real quick. And that's really valuable, because there are 2 cavalry there. It's got insufficient support, and it's very, very weak. What the hell...
Moved. How can he do that? How can he go to Cumbria from Lothian? I now am totally confused by the zone of controlling now, because I thought he couldn't. I thought he had to come out, had to leave the way he came in. Did he go in through Cumbria and we didn't notice?
No, he didn't come in through Cumbria. He definitely came in through Northumberland.
So what the fuck's going on over here?
I don't know. That is really strange.
Well, that fucks up everything, because we're locked into moving to there now, so we're going to end up engaging him. How's the... looks up. It is heavy. It is favorable for us. It's across a river and...
in the woods, and we've got 7 days. We get a recovery tick on the 1st. Let's go to the 1st.
All right.
We've got another merc that just finished. He's going to obviously have to come and reinforce. Let's see. 9th. You can be there.
We have to kill that stack before that thing arrives to be defender, otherwise... because we don't have a fort in there. Otherwise, he's defender, right?
All right. This is do or die time right now. Either we win this battle or we just end the war and we're ruined. So we have to hire more mercs. We just have to go into debt and try to win this fight. My hope here is that we beat this 3 stack with insufficient support because it's got too many cavalry relative to infantry before he can get there on the 9th.
Yeah,
we're gonna have
very important.
We're gonna have 7 days to fight him. We just had a reinforcement tick. There's no reason to shift consolidate because there's no regiments that would get any stronger from it. So let's just wait and see what Wallace does. This is Wallace, right? Please tell me Wallace is in charge. Wallace rolled a 1. Nice job, Wallace.
Wallace is old.
You got 1 shock phase, Wallace. Just do it. Nice. He rolled a 7. It's very good.
Yeah.
Now the question is, can he win in the next 4 days? He did. Nice. Stack wiped it. We're the defender. England is locked. Okay. Now we're going to wait 1 day so that we can have access to the army again, and then we're going to definitely consider if shift consolidation makes sense. And I don't think that it does because we're not at the full combat width yet. Okay. And all these mercs that we're training, we just need to continue to pile them into the fight and hope that the battle goes well. We've got a defender's advantage.
How big of a fucking cliffhanger do we want to leave?
A pretty big one, I think. Yeah, but we just rolled a 3 in the first phase. It's fire. It's a fire phase. Fire phase is not as important, but it's effectively we actually rolled a 4 versus a 4. So okay. Well, let's wait. We're not going to do the first shock phase this episode, are we? Or should we wait?
I think it's such a dirty move to leave it cliffhanger, but it's such an important thing for the campaign. I think we have to. I think we are obligated by our terms with YouTube to leave this as a cliffhanger.
Okay. So by the way, just don't forget this. We have 34 months until the nobility are going to revolt. 34 months. 3 years until the disaster fires. So it's a little bit dangerous.
I like this. This is more tension than I was expecting out of this game.
Now there is one other dirty trick we might be able to take. We might be able to try if we could unsiege Lancashire, and then wait till the English put troops there, or our movement locked into marching there. We could then revoke the province from the nobility, and because they're currently disloyal, they would rebel, and it would create a rebel stack in that province that England was this movement locked into marching onto. And we could force England to fight our rebels, which would be awesome. We might end up having to do dirty little tricks like that, but
that's fine.
For now, we're gonna wait and see what happens in the next shock phase. So, all right, cool. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks for watching.